Hello and welcome to another video by Day Night Gaming. Now today I'd like to discuss with you a question. Is Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers worth purchasing or coming back to in 2019? Well, before we start, let me preface my experience with Final Fantasy XIV. Now, I played Final Fantasy XIV version 1.0 at launch, and as common knowledge, that game was a train wreck. Extremely terrible. I played for about 3 months and yeah, I hated almost every minute of it. Since then, Square Enix has rebooted the game into Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. Now I played that game at launch as well, and I played that all the way until the end of the first main story questline, and I completed the first set of endgame rating, which was Bahamut Coils 1 through 5. At that point, I quit the game, and I took a hiatus for quite a long time. And I saw the trailer for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, and it greatly intrigued me. So I returned to the game about a month ago. So let me give you my experience for returning at that point. Now, since then, from there on to right before Heavensward, Square Enix added a bunch of new main story quests, which in my opinion are extremely boring. And playing through that, I actually considered quitting at that point. But because I had a month worth of subscription, I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to play until my subscription runs out and then I'll quit. So I played through that area, and then I got to Heavensward, and the beginning of Heavensward was also very boring, but like I said, I still had more time on my subscription. But as I progressed through Heavensward, about halfway through that expansion, I started to get drawn in and I started to have fun, which is really good. So by the time I finished Heavensward, I told myself, you know what, I'm having a great time at this point. You know, I'm going to go ahead and pre-order Shadowbringers as well as upgrade my subscription into Stormblood. So at that point, I've purchased all the content that's available at that time, as well as the new expansion that would be coming out soon. And because I pre-ordered Shadowbringers, I was able to get onto the early access playtime for Shadowbringers. So I've been playing that for about the past 5 days. But either way, now let me move into Stormblood. So my experience with Stormblood was the beginning was much better than Heavensward's beginning, but the ending wasn't as good. But overall, the experience was great. The pacing felt much better than A Realm Reborn. It was completely fleshed out, so entertaining through and through. Now, here we are in Shadowbringers, and let me tell you, right out of the gate, it comes out swinging. I'm having a great time with Shadowbringers. The main story quest, while I'm not done, I am pretty far through it. I gotta tell you, I'm having a blast. I've only had a few sections where there was a bit too much FedExing, but for the most part, I was deeply enthralled. The music is amazing. It's definitely extremely immersive. So I highly recommend playing with music if you consider to buy Shadowbringers. Okay, now, so let me get into the question. Now, the original question was, is Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers worth purchasing in 2019? And, you know, if you're an old returning player, is it worth returning to in 2019? And my answer would be yes for both of them. But there is some caveats to that. Now, Final Fantasy XIV, for anyone who hasn't played it before, I must warn you that it is heavy story driven. You cannot jump straight to endgame without playing through the story. So, you know, for those who do not want to play an MMO that's story focused, I recommend avoiding it. Especially now with Shadowbringers just around the corner. It's a lot of story to get through. I mean, if you're gonna watch all the cutscenes, it'll probably take a normal casual player 3 months to get through the content. Now, someone who's playing at a decent amount. It might take them 1 month to get through, but like I said, there's quite a lot of story elements that you have to play through before you can get into endgame. Also, let me state that the PvP in this game is absolutely atrocious. I want to say, among all MMOs that I've played, FF14's PvP system is absolutely the worst. It's so bad that I've played it for a little bit, but I never want to go back into it. But if you like heavy story-driven games, I highly recommend Final Fantasy XIV, especially Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers expansion is amazing. And in today's MMO climate, you know, while this is my own personal opinion, I definitely believe Final Fantasy XIV is a contender. So, like I said, I highly recommend coming in. And I hope this video helped you out in making your decision if you've been on the fence. And until next time, take care. Goodbye.